Yes, people, welcome back to another live stream on the channel. This is your Premier League Matchday 11 preview. I'm back hosting. Feels nice to be back hosting, to be fair, but it's one of those ones where I've been very bit hectic and busy with work, but now I managed to be back with hosting now. But yeah, we'll be previewing the games this weekend. Should be a good one. We've got big games to talk about. Lots of entertaining games. And yeah, I'm not joined by myself. We've got two people expected tonight, maybe three, but I would say two for now. One's in the back room. I'm going to add him. He's a big Arsenal fan. Big Arteta fan as well. I think he has actually changed his opinions about Arteta. So let me just add him in now. 1 second. And it's Manny. How you doing, Manny?
I have not changed my opinions on him just yet. I am, I'm like I said, the jury's still out on him. We'll see what happens, but I won't deny it's looking good so far. But once again, people need to keep their cool. We've just played. I think this is going to be game week 10, right? Oh no, 11. So we've already played 10 games each, every single one of us, just barely a quarter of the way through. And well begun is no more than half done. But quite excited about this upcoming weekend's game. Should be a hoot and a half, definitely.
Yeah, of course. Going with the comments, we've got Chelsea says, big up my friends, and says, keep hitting the like button and subscribe to Johnny. Yeah, big up to you, Chelsea fan. Always good to see you in the comments, as always. But yeah, just get through it, man. We'll just get through it. Obviously, we've got first game tomorrow, lunchtime kickoff. Obviously, Manchester United travel to Tottenham, where we don't have a good record there. We haven't beaten them in the last 8 matches I've seen, so that's embarrassing. I think it's 8 or 9, somewhere between there. But yeah, that just sickens me. But tomorrow, I'm hoping for revenge because we know what happened last season. They beat us 4 times last season. So I'm hoping these players show up tomorrow and put in a good performance in. But you just never know with Man United, really. But because it's a lunchtime kickoff, anything can happen. Obviously, Tottenham at home, they haven't been perfect. They've not been perfect. Obviously, the midweek game against Spurs in Copenhagen, they've done good. They done very good. But in terms of Premier League wise, they've not been good. Listen, I'm expecting this. This could go either way, really. Because if Tottenham get the first goal, then I can see Tottenham winning this. But we're just gonna have to play our game, really. Because if we can go to Liverpool and win, then surely we can go to Tottenham and win. Like, I know I'm comparing Liverpool and Tottenham. Like, it's a big thing, but we did win at Anfield, and obviously Amorim's got a bit of momentum now because he's obviously unbeaten in his last 4 games. But this is surely where we think, as United fans, or in general, where United must win tomorrow. Like, must win, no doubts. But Manny, how do you see this 2 teams tomorrow facing?
Ooh, this is interesting. A little repeat of the Europa League final, and United are out for some revenge. First of all, I think Ruben Amorim has been named Premier League Manager of the Month, so let me say parabéns to him in Portuguese, of course. I think he has. I think the word on Twitter is that he has been named Manager of the Month, so congratulations to him. And one big reason why you should win, 2, I should say, is because Spurs' home form this season has been absolutely appalling. Of course, it is a bit of a knock-on from last season, but this season there should be no excuse. And this season, of course, Spurs do not have Ange Postecoglou as manager. It's Thomas Frank. And it was under Postecoglou that Spurs beat you 4 times. Um, Already there have been a lot of rantings and ramblings about, how Frank doesn't really have a style of play. Obviously, the incident when Spurs lost against Chelsea with Van der Ven and Spence walking past him, not acknowledging him, people were sort of going gaga, saying that he'd lost the dressing room. And then against Copenhagen, because Messi Van der Ven scored that brilliant goal, or had that assist, or yeah, well, it was a goal, I think. Um, I think he scored twice in that game actually. In the
Yeah,
4-0, people are saying everything's rosy once again. It was a 4-0 win over Copenhagen, a side which aren't doing very well in the Danish league. And now Spurs are experiencing what Arsenal fans go through whenever we have these wins in Europe against some of these European teams, and then we have this ridiculous debate about how this is the year of the English teams. It's rule Britannia all over again. Blah blah blah. Cut it out. Last season, Arsenal and Liverpool were in the top three in that table. Aston Villa also qualified, and only Arsenal reached the semi-finals. Liverpool were knocked out in the last 16. Villa reached the quarterfinals and gave PSG a run for their money. But we need to stop with this ridiculous glazing of English teams. And of course, United have got designs of coming back into the Champions League under Amorim. And I will say that they are doing a lot better this season. Maybe Amorim's starting to get the players working for him. Maybe the players are knowing their roles. Crucial, of course, to your success is the performances of Amad Diallo. I really don't know what's happened with Kobe Mainoo. I think it's very, very sad to see that he's declined a bit. But big up as well to the likes of Casemiro, who's proving that, there is still life in him just yet. And Serge Lamont, I think that's how you pronounce it. Proof of how you get Lamont and make Lemonet. He certainly looked good. The thing about this particular game is that Spurs will still be expected to have a few defensive wobbles. I know that Christian Romero has come back from injury, but this is going to be the same United team that Spurs beat 4 times last season. I think Amorim's got them playing a little bit more solidly. He's got an idea of what his first 11 should be like and what they should be doing. I'm actually confident of predicting a 2-1 United win. And I'm not saying this because I'm an Arsenal fan. In fact, I remember through gritted teeth hoping that you lot would beat Ange Postecoglou's boys in Bilbao, and you failed to do that. This time around, I think you've turned a corner, and it will be very interesting to see if you could continue that momentum. And I'd like to think that, you've got the bit between your teeth, so you should be able to do it. United to win 2-1, but having said that, I wouldn't be surprised if Spurs would be fired up for this to try and keep that record going. It could end up a 2-2 draw as a Desmond, but I'm sticking my neck out and saying 2-1 to United.
Yeah, I think Choseman also agrees with you. Also says 2-1 United as well. I would love to see a win. I want to win. Obviously, excuse me, but yeah, obviously Money says about how Mainoo not being selected, which is true. I mean, whether it's reports of apparently Mainoo has a different sort of play style than how Amorim wants to play, whether it's, I don't know, but Mainoo obviously not been getting his game time, which obviously is concerning, but obviously, apparently he's not looking to go on loan, and apparently he's still patient for game time, so let's see what happens, but I really do hope Mainoo gets a few game time because he is one of the players that I do rate highly in the academy. But do you have Hanno here, Hanno Trollip? How are you doing, my friend?
Be up for us. Be up, man. Be up, Money. I'm doing well,
Yes.
man.
Yes, but how are you, son? Can't complain, eh?
I'm good. Yeah, man. I'm good.
Wait, Arnie Slot is a spicy Roberto Di Matteo. Oh, Hanno. Oh,
Yeah, well, Oh yeah, I think maybe Bobby Damasio was bald when he was managing Chelsea. I don't remember. Yeah, but Hannah, before we start, I have to say once again, commiserations to the ladies. Um, I
No
must.
need, but yeah, no. Yeah, chokers, man, absolute fraud.
Hey, watch it, boy. You guys did play some good cricket. I know for once England got the better, and once again you got the better of England in the semi-final. We're the bigger chokers, if it makes you feel any better.
Well, it doesn't really. It's India again, like India. Uh, India just.
And hey, you still got the rugby. But
Yeah,
yeah, we
like
just
at
go
least
ahead,
the
go ahead.
rugby. At least the rugby is good, yeah.
Okay, so we've
But
just
to be
done.
fair, money. To be fair,
Yeah,
all these nonsense T20 and ODIs, that doesn't matter. Test cricket is where it's at, man.
the classic sour grapes. Anyway, back to football. Sorry, Iris. Back to football. We were just talking about Spurs United, the noon kickoff on Saturday. Both Iris and I are going for a United win. Of course, as an Arsenal fan, I have to go for a United win. But what's your prediction? Spurs do have a pretty poor home record this season.
I don't think United win this game. I think it's either draw or Spurs win, to be honest, because United just have a stinky record against Spurs. Like, imagine losing 4 times in a row to Spurs. Like, it stinks. And in a European final, and Thomas Frank, did Thomas Frank beat you, do the double over you guys last season?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's long.
did Brentford actually beat United at Old Trafford? I don't remember that.
Wait.
I think so. I don't know. Let me check.
I
Last
don't
season?
believe that he
No.
did.
Wait, did he?
Last season.
I can't remember.
Let me.
No,
check.
this is why we have Wikipedia, because I'm just looking at that right now. Okay. Obviously, like we all know, and I was saying, Hanno, that one reason why United have a chance is because Ange Postecoglou is no longer Spurs manager.
So wait, that's this season. So 2-1. It was 2-1 United. But I don't think was Amaran in charge. When did Amaran get appointed?
2-1 United. Armin should have been in charge, yeah.
United.
Or was it Ten Hag?
Yeah, it was. Amarim had the job from the 11th of November, and it was Ten Hag until the 28th of October. He got sacked, and then Van Nistelrooy came in.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that was his last one, I think. Ten Hag. Like, he beat Brentford. It was one of his last ones. He beat Brentford on the 19th of October.
Okay, there we go then.
So Amaran hasn't beaten Brentford. So
yeah. In fact, United did the double over, Frank, because Brentford. No. United lost at the G-Tech 4-3. That's right.
Yeah. I'm gonna go 1-1. Things up for draw. But wouldn't be surprised if Spurs won.
Yeah, fair enough then. Fair enough. Yeah, I think all our predictions are locked in. I've gone with, I think I said 1-1. Manny said 2-1 United. And in the chat, we've got Chelsea one that says 2-1 United. Hashim says 2-2. Big up to you, Hashim. Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. And he says, if Kudus out, United win. Kudus in, Spurs draw. I mean, yeah. I mean, I did say this. Tottenham's home record is bad. But then again, it's Man United. Like, we can make them look like prime Barca. So, yeah. Look, I'm just concerned about Kudus because we have a player, right, who's actually related to Ruben Amorim, and his name is Diego Dalot. So,
Those clowns.
to what?
They're related by through a circus artist. So I'm just saying I can see why they're both clowns.
I mean, I don't know any club's manager that are related to bloody player, man. Like, maybe you've got, I don't know, Arteta and who's Arteta's
Marino.
favorite? Yeah, Marino. Yeah, they could be related. You never know. Mikel Arteta. You never know, mate. But yeah, yeah. As I was saying, could this scare?
I'm pretty sure Frank Lampard played under Harry Redknapp at West Ham, and if memory serves me right, Redknapp is Lampard's uncle or father-in-law. I forget which. It might be uncle, yes. And then, of course, there's Jamie and Harry Redknapp, all from back in the day.
Exactly. But yeah, we'll move on because we have other games to talk about. But yeah, keep commenting, guys. Let me see if I miss anything. Yeah, Joseph says big up Hannah, my friend. Yeah, best friends.
Yeah.
Chelsea for life. Moving on to the next game, we do have Everton versus Fulham. Now, since Everton moved into the new stadium, they've been okay. Jack Grealish, or Jackie Cheese, AK says, he's been doing all right. But I believe the last result for Everton, it wasn't good for them, was it? So
No, it wasn't.
They're going to look for a win. This is difficult to predict, because I said on Mr. B stream that Fulham would win, but I'm not sure, I'm really not sure. Everton would win. It could be a surprise here, but if I was to say something, I'll probably say 2-2. So yeah, 2-2 I'm going to say. Hanno?
I'm debating between an Everton win or a draw. I'm probably gonna go with a 2-1 Everton. 2-1. Because
Everton.
Fulham's away record isn't great.
Yeah, Hashim says last result was Sunderland draw at Sunderland Stadium. And there you will go to top 6 clubs. I don't think so. Manny, Everton, Fulham, how do you see this game happening?
Well, obviously, as you mentioned, Everton have been doing okay, but their last home game, of course, was an absolute shellacking at home to Thomas Frank's Spurs. And it is fair to say, of course, that Spurs did them in on set pieces, I believe. And Everton just weren't able to get into the races. They also shut down Chuck E. Cheese quite effectively. And Fulham are just a frustrating team. And once again, I think this season they're flattering to deceive horribly. They're deep in deep trouble, not really in a relegation fight per se, because Wolves, West Ham, and of course Sean Dyche's Nottingham Forest are worse than them at the moment. But it's not looking too good for Fulham either. And could very well be that by December, Marco Silva, who is, of course, coming up against his old club, might find himself in a bit of trouble with regard to employment if things don't improve and improve fast. Fulham, of course, are into the quarterfinals of the League Cup, if I'm correct. And, they do have some chance of doing well in the Cups this season. But again, the league form has to be considered, a team's bread and butter, which is, of course, why Ange eventually got fired despite winning a European trophy. But again, with regard to Fulham, I just don't see them really firing on all cylinders. And they promise a great deal of fight, but they just don't seem to do very much. And draws are really as good as it's getting for them at the moment. I think they also lost to Brighton at the Amex, and that's normally a game where you'd expect more fight from them. I'm going to go for an Everton win, and I think Hannah's got this spot on. It should be 2-1 to Everton. And they'll be eager to put right the Spurs result. And I'll just snip off and I'll be back in a minute, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Cool. I think everyone's predictions in for the Everton for the game. Chelsea says Everton 2-1. Yeah, is that going to be a draw or Everton winning? Or Fulham could win, but you never know. But yeah, Everton win or draw for me. Yeah, 2-2. Moving over to the next game we do have is West Ham against Burnley. Now this is where you see entertaining football, I guess. Prime Madrid versus Prime Barca. But no, look, yeah, West Ham Burnley. West Ham should be winning this game. See, they need to win this game, obviously, looking at where they are on the table. So they can't really be dropping points. So I'm going to say 2-1 West Ham here. Hashim says 1-1. Hannah, what are you thinking?
I think West Ham might go on a small run. I'm gonna go 2-1 West Ham.
2-1 West Ham. Fair enough. Hashim says 1-1. Chelsea fan, put your predictions in for the West Ham Burnley game. Who else?
But yeah, West Ham should go on one line. Nuno, massive one. I think Nuno might have just figured out his team.
Yeah. Obviously, I think they won last week as well, so they need to continue some momentum. Manny, what about you? West Ham, Burnley, do you think West Ham will continue that momentum?
Well, this is definitely an exciting one because, people are excited about West Ham after Nuno got their first win against a Newcastle team that pretty much flattered to deceive. And they're up against the Burnley team under a certain Scott Parker, who are doing not too badly this season, I would say. Burnley are doing, of course, the bare minimum and making sure that they are starting to win the games they need to win. And ever since they've moved to a back four rather than the back five as they were using, they've looked a lot better. And of course, Scott Parker had 4 seasons at West Ham United as a player, so a homecoming of sorts. Although it'll be not at Upton Park, but the Olympic Stadium. I like the look of both teams. I think it's a little bit too early to say whether West Ham has suddenly turned the corner, but, I think the jury is still out for West Ham in a way. And I've got to also give credit to a certain Burnley player by the name of Martin Dubravka, who is proving to be one of the best goalkeepers in the league. He's kept a few clean sheets, made some wonderful saves in others, has not been helped at times by some poor defending. And this is going to be a real, interesting, cagey game, and I can see this ending in a Desmond. I wouldn't be surprised if one team does come out on top, and I think that team will probably end up being Burnley because, aside from the win over Newcastle, West Ham still look pretty poor at home, and it's going to take a consistent run of games for West Ham to really break that hoodoo. Their home record is worse than even Tottenham's, I believe. If it were any other team other than Burnley, I'd be confident of a win at the Olympic Stadium because obviously Newcastle are experiencing a season where they're trying to balance Champions League football and Premiership football, and they're having a bit of a drop-off in the league. But since it's Burnley, who are doing well of late, but still, need to do a little bit better in order to make sure they will be safe from relegation worries, I think it's going to be a draw, 2-2. A nice little Desmond.
Fair enough. Okay, then.
And Steve, if you're watching, I think that's my first Desmond I predicted tonight.
Fair enough. But yeah, make sure you guys do smash the likes if you're watching now. We've got 5 people watching. If you're new, please do give us a subscription or subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything. Trying to hit the mark 600 by Christmas, but let's see how things go. But yeah, I think that's all predictions locked in. Moving over to 5:30, Sunderland versus Arsenal, the big one. Granit Xhaka, who said in an interview that he won't celebrate if he scores against Arsenal. Manny, take it away.
Well, we're going to make sure he doesn't celebrate. Arsenal I think we've already played Liverpool. We've lost at Anfield. We played Manchester City and snatched a draw at the Emirates after City inexplicably decided to park the bus. But we are going to have some tougher tests, and this is going to be a very interesting test, of course, because Sunderland are high flying and they're proving me wrong in doing so well this season. But again, as with the likes of Bournemouth and other teams last season, Sunderland are going to be ripe for a little dip in form. And Granit Xhaka are. Granit Xhaka has done very well, but Sunderland do seem to have a little bit of a soft centre in that if you attack them enough, they can be got at. A lot has been made about their goalkeeper Robin Roofs from Holland, who has done quite well, but he also does have a bit of a mistake or two in him. And I think the likes of Isidore and quite a few other players are proving to be very useful players, proving their worth in every way possible. And this isn't going to be easy, but we should come out on top. And I think it's interesting to see Hashim point out that we could end up conceding. And, he has a point. We might end up conceding, although our defense has been good this season. But we just somehow have this knack of being able to find a way to get past these stubborn teams, and we've shown that so far this season. And I think a nice trip to the Stadium of Light will be, it'll be no different. And it will be lovely, of course, with that reunion with Granit Xhaka. I wonder if he and Arteta might catch up a little bit. I was never a big fan of, Xhaka during his time at Arsenal. We should have gotten N'Golo Kante instead of him, except he moved to Chelsea because our manager Arsene Wenger apparently didn't want him. So, Hanno, you owe our manager a big thank you for his ridiculous generosity. And, obviously Xhaka's come back with a point to prove. I just don't know if he's going to lead Sunderland to that win, because obviously he's been the driving force and the team's been playing around him. But he is due an off day, and what better time than against your old club to sort of have a bit of a drop-off. I mean, there's no way that he can possibly, want to try and beat his former team, although somebody clearly didn't give Jordan Henderson the memo. Arsenal should win this. I think we have enough offensive, power in our arsenal, pun intended, to ensure that we win. It will be a tight game. We're going to play up there at the Stadium of Light. The home crowd will be on our backs, but we should overcome. 2-1.
Yeah, I'm going to read the comment. Braves, always big up, says Arsenal fan, big up, finally being discharged from hospital after suffering a bleed on the brain. 13 staple stitches drilled and drained the bleed, and this bleed was caused by Arteta's sexuals when I got attacked. Oh, wow. Well, I mean,
oh goodness.
I'm glad to hear that you're well, but bloody hell.
Craig, thank you very much for coming back and telling us this. We're really, really sorry about this. I mean, obviously the same thing happened to Jez Collins from Arsenal The History and more not too long ago. And now I consider you a good mate of mine, and it's really horrible. And these people who are indulging in this form of violence, you really need to just wind your necks in and make sure that you stop all of this. And those of you who are responsible for this, you deserve to be caught, thrown in the nick, prosecuted to the highest level, and thrown away so that you will never see the light of day ever again. But most importantly, Craig, I do hope that you have a full recovery. Take care of yourself. Everyone here at OTF absolutely loves you, and we hope that you will really power through this and come back on the other side. We're going to send you our warmest wishes, and just take care of yourself, yeah?
Yeah. Agreed. I approve that, yeah. Greg, best wishes for me, mate. Hanno, Sunderland Arsenal, score predictions.
I'd go with money to one also. I think also might draw because of Sunderland, how good they are at home, but I just think they're really good in terms of Sunderland play some really good attacking football, so also we'll need to be on it. And yeah, but I think they sneak it somehow. I think tough place to go, but think I'll get away with it.
Fair enough. I'm going to say 2-1 Arsenal. I think I can see a mistake from Sunderland, which would lead to an Arsenal win. But yeah, Arsenal will concede. Because you know what? Fair play. Bet with their defence, what they've been doing in the race match. They've been keeping lots of clean sheets. And I mean, I know it's only 10 games in, but there's people already talking if Arsenal can beat that Chelsea record. But I think it's still way too early to say about that. But if they can, of course, Arsenal can beat it. But I think it's still too early. I know they've been doing well with keeping teams having 0 shots on target, but already people are saying, "Oh, we're going to beat Chelsea's record, their defensive record, blah blah blah." What was it, Hannah? What was the record? 15? Was it 15 goals or 13?
15.
15.
15. Yeah, I mean,
And 7 of them were penalties, so only 8 from open play.
can Arsenal do that? Let's see. Yeah, Craig says, "Man, love for that," and chat panel means a lot. Always, we're with you, man. We're with you. Hashim, 15 goals, cool. Right then, let's see what happens Sunday in Arsenal then. We will see tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. UK time kickoff. Moving on. Chelsea Wolves. I mean, this should be an interesting one because Wolves are yet to announce their new manager. I think what I've seen is they will appoint Rob Edwards from what I'm being seen, but nothing's confirmed yet. But I think he's the front runner. But yeah, he won't be on time for this weekend though. But I don't know, mate. You gonna win 3 points or you gonna drop points?
We should win, but we should have won a lot of games this season. So I wouldn't be surprised if we drop points in this one. Wolves, new manager, whatever, interim in there. Like, we should beat them. We handled them in the cup comfortably until horrible second half. So, like, we should be able to handle them. Will we? Probably not. Realistically, I'm going 2-1 Chelsea, but as for my prediction, I think Wolves might take it 2-1.
Seriously,
Yeah.
Hannah? Seriously? You're playing at Stamford Bridge. It's a Wolves team that are rooted to the bottom of the Premiership and have sacked their manager. I've heard of teams having a new manager bounce, but this has to be absolutely ridiculous. Yes, you lost at home to Brighton and Hove Albion, but Wolves, you stole Pedro Neto from them, of course, and since then they've never been the same, quite the same, and you still think you can't beat them. I think there's one bloke in the chat who says that it'll be a 3-1 win. Hashim says it'll be 3-1. Chelsea, apparently, fans said that it could be a 1-1 draw. But, yes, you don't have the best home record. It's better than West Ham's and Spurs's, but it may not be that good. But, listen, you should have enough for the Premier League's bottom team. I will humour you and say that it will be a 2-1 win. It could be tight, but that's as good as it's going to get for Wolves, seriously. And there's no way that Maresca will tolerate anything less than a win against, the bottom side. It's cup football's a different beast altogether, but league football, seriously, I'll go for 2-1, but I would not be surprised if you pump them for at least 3 or 4. Come on, boy.
Yeah, come on, Hannah, mate. What's going on?
Hopefully we won. But I can't guarantee anything.
I think Hannah's Maresca out, man. Are you not confident to beat Wolves?
No, I'm not. I just know my team is inconsistent.
Yeah, world champions and all that.
Still won more trophies than you guys in the last 5 years.
Fair enough. I asked for that. My bad.
We can even go further back, but we can live with it.
Strand Larson is the only player I fear. Yeah, obviously, well, this whole thing that he was doing with
Actually,
Wolves.
you won't start Esteval. Neto's gonna start. Neto was in training today, and then I
Garnacho.
think
Wait.
Garnacho scored in the Champions League, so probably Garnacho again. He'll
That's
probably
not
bring off
going to play
Esteval
now.
from the bench. Esteval played 90, so
What
he
did I
won't.
tell you guys?
Esteval won't start. Esteval
The
will come.
viewers,
On
I
the
told you from the start, and I'll say it again. In a few weeks' time, you will see Hano's stream, right? He's going to be taking off his shirt and say, Orest, I'm so sorry. Garnacho is my favourite player. So you know what?
bench.
Hano, mate,
Garnacho is horrible, man.
I'm waiting for that stream, mate, yeah? Because Garnacho, mate, yeah? Viva Garnacho.
I think,
Garnacho of the bench, Nijal,
but
Pedro, Estebao.
Garnacho stinks. Like, the only reason why he got the goal is a failed Travella pass that hit the defender, bounced back off him, and then he's a good strike and pass the keeper. Fair enough, it was a good strike, but it was even lucky to get that. Like,
Fair
a
enough.
failed
Yeah,
Travella pass straight against the defender. Like,
yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. So I think everyone's
up
here.
to Chelsea.
Hmm?
Up to Chelsea.
Yeah, 2-1 Chelsea. But hopefully Wolves can do something.
Yeah, and of course, it should be mentioned that Arsenal haven't played Chelsea, so I think Chelsea will have
Ooh,
a point
and
to
that's coming
prove
up.
against
Isn't that
us.
coming up soon as
So,
well?
going to be quite interesting, yeah.
I
Yeah, I think.
can't wait for the big games because then I know we will turn up and we will show up. Like,
Ooh,
give me big games.
okay, Manny, he wants you.
We
He
will
wants.
actually perform decent. We might not win, but we will perform.
Oh, here we go. Right. Okay then. I think everyone's giving us prediction for Chelsea Wolves. Hashim says Garnacho of the bench and we sing Viva Garnacho as a start. He stinks, like Kano said. Yeah, keep singing his song, man. He's a great player for you guys, don't worry.
No.
Moving on.
You know, every time Garnacho has scored, I don't think the team, like United, didn't win or we didn't win. Like, every time he scores and goes sit on the, like, stand, like on the thingy, barricade or whatever you call it, don't
Bench.
think a team has, like, won. Like, United or
So you're
Chelsea.
saying every time Garnacho scored and he's been subbed off, you haven't won?
No, every time he scores, you don't win. So maybe he shouldn't score because then he don't win. Because if he doesn't score, you win. Basically.
But yeah, that's an interesting stat. Hannah, so what's your front three for tomorrow then? Is it tomorrow or Sunday? Yeah, whenever.
Front three will probably be
Oh, I should have asked Maggie this because Gyökeres is injured.
we'll probably do same front three as against. What did we play on the weekend previously?
You played Sunderland
Oh no, was it Sunderland? No, we didn't play
last week,
Sunderland.
when you. Yeah, true. No,
Okay.
you lost. Sorry. Oh shit, you lost.
Oh yeah, we lost. No, Tottenham, the Tottenham one.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, that was last week, Tottenham. Yeah, the week before. Yeah.
They probably play the front three as that
Oh,
game.
it's tomorrow. Yeah, cool.
So we'll probably
Same three.
yeah, Garnacho, wait, we're playing Wolves. You'll play Mark Gill. Chap Pedro will probably be on the bench because they played. Garnacho, Pedro Neto front three, and Enzo. No, not yeah, Enzo in the 10, and then probably Chap Pedro. That's my prediction. I think Chap Pedro off the bench, but I think he probably will start. I don't want to be surprised if he's coming off the bench, but I think he probably will start. but in the 10. But Mark Giroud is probably
Mm.
gonna start as striker and Pedro in the 10.
Manny, what's your front for against Sunderland? Because Gyökeres is injured, so
Yeah, hopefully, Kai Havertz will not be back fit, and there are reports that Gabriel Jesus is getting back to fitness, but he's not going to obviously play a part. It could very well be that we do what we did in the Champions League and start with Mikel Merino up top, and of course, when we went to Tyneside, it worked a treat. I think actually Merino came off. I think he started and then scored the equaliser, if memory serves me right. So now that we're going up to Wearside, maybe Merino will repeat the trick. And of course, Merino was at Newcastle, so the Wearsiders will be giving him a lot of sticks. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start with Merino as the false nine with more of the same, Martinelli on the left, Saka on the right, and everything else, as you were. The back four remains the same. The goalkeeper remains the same. And of course, in the midfield, obviously, it has to be something. The midfield is going to be key because obviously we're coming up against our former captain. It has to be Rice, Eze, obviously, and this is a difficult one because as much as I think Zubamendi does look decent, I don't think he's going to be that one who will really. Provide the team the that bite that we need, that real strength that we need. But it could very well be that he ends up playing that midfield three. But we should have enough. I think the Rice-Xhaka duo will be interesting to watch, and Merino on his own up front should be good.
Yeah. Obviously, I've just seen the private chat. Hannah, you do have to go. That's fine. Do you want to shout your socials that people know where they can find you?
No, we can leave it. Just know, on his slot is a Spicy Roberto Di Matteo. And the Chelsea might win. Oh, yeah. And City are gonna absolutely smash this lot. 3-1. Maybe 4-1. Maybe 3-1.
Hannah, Coach's Corner, mate. Yeah, come on.
No. Well, I can say that I will be back soon. But yeah, that's all I can say.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right,
but thanks for having me.
Thanks for
Up to
joining,
Chelsea.
Yeah.
Amaran in, Tessa in, Chelsea to the day I die.
Big up, Hannah, mate. Appreciate for joining, mate. Big up. Okay, then. Moving on to the next few games. We've got about 5 more, I believe. Yeah, 5 more. Starting off with Villa Bournemouth. Manny, what a game this is.
Yeah, definitely a game. Obviously, Bournemouth are a quality team, and I remember, of course, they did double against us last season, and deservedly so. We were arrogant, complacent. We took them for granted. We thought we were better than them, and they ended up, just pulling out shorts now, jocks down, home and away. It was disgusting. And David Raya obviously had horror shows in both games. And last season, I remember Bournemouth did nick a point at Villa Park with Evan Nilsson scoring a breathlessly late equaliser, only for Villa to gain a measure of revenge by beating Bournemouth at the Vitality Stadium, one of only a few teams to do that. Bournemouth had an excellent home record, but Villa did get the better of them. And of course, 2 Basque managers in Iriola and Unai Emery. The frustrating thing about Villa losing to Liverpool was that after a dreadful start, they were, riding the crest of a wave, and if they win tomorrow on Sunday at Villa Park, they will find themselves further up the table, troubling the Champions League places. And of course, they beat Maccabi Tel Aviv yesterday in the Europa League. So well done to them. Show those genocidal supporters that they are not welcome, and their fans that they are not welcome in the UK. And they do still look a little bit good, but there are some teething issues. What Evan Gessend has done to deserve to start every game, I don't know. What I see of him is that he runs wonderfully well, but his footwork is terrible. He can't trap a ball very easily. He's sort of a slightly less stocky Adama Traore, if that makes any sense. And then, of course, you've got a situation where Ollie Watkins has not been in the best of form, and he has been rested from the England squad because he's been sort of playing with a bit of an injury. So it would be surprising. I don't think Watkins will probably end up starting on Sunday because Emery might want to give him some rest. But then the question is, who does he play as his striker? Does he play Daniel Marlon, or does he stick Marlon on the wing and maybe bring on Harvey Elliott as a false nine, or do what he's supposed to do and use Harvey Elliott as a right winger because that's where he normally plays for Liverpool? There are going to be a lot of permutations here. And as far as Bournemouth are concerned, they're a team that are doing really well. But again, as with last season, they could very well be ripe for a little bit of a slight downturn. And this is a game which Aston Villa will be under pressure to win because they are on their home turf. And normally they have a very strong home record. But again, Bournemouth, of course, are going to fancy their chances as well. They're going to want to try and make sure they get stuck in. It will be interesting to see if Bournemouth's midfield gets to grips effectively with Villa's midfield. I predict a battle between two sides that enjoy the 4-2-3-1 formation. I wouldn't be surprised if this... I'm actually going to go stick my neck out and say that this will be a 2-2 draw because Villa will somehow find a way to score some goals, but so will Bournemouth. And so no clean sheet for Emi Martinez. But both goalkeepers might end up being busy, Martinez and Georgi Petrovic. So 2-2 to the Villa. Of course, if Villa do win, then it will be a pleasant surprise. But I just don't know if they're going to be able to completely stop a Bournemouth team that is on the rise at the moment. And although Villa are recovering well, it's a recovery that's going to have a few fits and starts in between, as was seen against Liverpool. And Villa have got to understand that if they're playing teams that have, very hard presses, they've got to stop this nonsense of trying to play out from the back, seriously. All these passing at the back between the defence and the goalkeeper, it's ridiculous. Do something different, Unai. You're better than this. You've managed in the Premiership long enough.
100%. But now this game, you know what? Obviously, I think Bournemouth will be obviously more fresh because obviously Villa played on Thursday and they got a big, massive win against what was it? I think Maccabi Al Taviv, Tel Aviv.
Yeah,
so,
Tel Aviv.
So, yeah, big win for Villa. Bournemouth will be more fresh, but it could go either way. It could be a draw, could be a Bournemouth win. Who knows? Because Iriola has done massive with Bournemouth this season. He's been superb. I'm gonna go 3-2 Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth win.
That's a very bold call there, my friend.
Lots of goals there, 5 goals, but yeah, man, I can see Bournemouth winning this because Bournemouth, like I said, will be more. They will be more. In my opinion, they will be more up for it, and they will have the more fresh legs. So let's see. Jonathan says, "Even lads, hope you're good. Big up to you, Jono. Harry, hope we win. Up to you."
Honeygun also in the chat. But also, Jonathan, if you're listening, I hope you're also starting to feel a little bit better. Do please take care of yourself and stay strong, yeah? Do what you do what the doctor tells you to do. And, as I would say, don't do anything that Orest and I wouldn't do if we have a flu. And I've had a mini flu. It's not pleasant. You feel exceptionally weak. You've got to make sure that you don't try and be a hero, yeah? Take care, son.
Yeah, exactly. Hashim says, "Gonna go, guys. Thanks for listening. Enjoy weekend there. Big up to you, Hashim, man.
Entertainment. That's a compliment."
Big up to you, Hashim, mate. Enjoy your weekend, and hopefully, Wolves get a win for you. Yeah. Big up to you, Hashim. Take care, mate. Take care, Hashim. Yeah. Well, as I was saying, I think obviously, I completely agree, man, because the way I seen Villa trying to play Anfield, oh my God, I was like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? So they've got to just play to their normal. So none of this, pass around, play around from the back, none of that. None of that. So just stick to your normal routine, Emery, and, good evening. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, though, this is sort of their routine and is what they like to do. And obviously, when they played Manchester City at Villa Park, it worked a treat. But, Liverpool and Anfield is a different kettle of fish. And Granit Xhaka, found that out the hard way, of course. It's just a question of trying to develop some tactical flexibility or having that good sense. The only problem is sometimes our players fancy themselves as, ballers with fancy footwork. And even Emi Martinez got into the act yesterday with an outrageous piece of skill, which really, had a lot of people going ooh and ah. But, if you're not focused and, sometimes Villa's defenders aren't focused, they can concede some very sloppy goals. Pau Torres is a big culprit. Emi Martinez is definitely no saint. So just saying, just stop the nonsense. Go for the 3 points, especially when if you can't beat Liverpool at Anfield, at least don't let them beat you.
Yeah, exactly. Vitek, yeah, that's fine. Comments. Only against those 100%. I was thinking about putting a couple of my players fantasy league, but be careful as someone might get a red card. Yeah, they've been going on a record now, but yeah. Obviously it's good to see Honeygun in the chat. I'll be doing well. But yeah, moving on, as we already have set up thoughts now. Brentford Newcastle. Another big one. Obviously Newcastle lost last week. Brentford have been, I would say they've been decent, against big teams. Obviously they've beaten us, they've beaten Liverpool, and I think that's the only big team they played yet. I think they did play City, but they lost. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I mean, look, Brentford against Newcastle. Obviously, Brentford have more of the advantage here when it comes to form wise. Plus, that Brentford, I think Brentford win this game. It will be tight, but I think it will be like a game where it's like 2-1 Brentford. It's kind of like that game, 2-1 ish. So yeah, 2-1 Brentford for me. Money. Oh, you're on mute. That's fine.
So sorry, I was muted. My bad. Can you hear me now? Perfect.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So I'd actually concur with a lot of what you're saying. And as I was saying, if you take a look at the Premiership table, Brentford are above Newcastle United, 13 and 12 points respectively. I think Newcastle, with 4 defeats this season, are still finding it difficult to balance European football and league football. And I think last time they were in the Champions League, it was a similar story. But at least Aston Villa did a better job of balancing it. Champions League quarterfinals, and they finished 6th in the Premiership, only missing out on Champions League qualification on the last day, and we all know how that happened. But Brentford also have really done well under Keith Andrews, and their key player this season has been the ex-Liverpool captain Jordan Henderson, who's also justifying his continued involvement with England, and he's also been picked in Tommy Tuchel's squad today. And, he's been a driving force for Brentford this season, quite obviously, and the team have probably seen it fit to play around him, as it were. And some of the other players, the likes of Sade and others, have also contributed a great deal. And they're a unit now. Even after losing many of their stars, they're actually a very, very big unit. And some metrics are doing a lot better than they were under Thomas Frank. Now, Newcastle are going to be determined to put the West Ham disaster behind them, and they're going to want to try to beat Brentford at the G-Tech. But again, Brentford at the G-Tech is not an easy proposition. Many teams have found out. Liverpool, Aston Villa, and of course. And even Manchester City did not have it all their own way in the second half, despite winning 1-0. But again, this could also be the sort of game which Newcastle enjoy playing, a sort of a rough and tumble game against tough opposition. And Dan Burn, who's also been picked for the squad, will have a big role to play, especially at set pieces, corners, and so forth. I think Nathan Collins has not been good in good form this season, and it's like he's got the armband for club and country, but has not been justifying it in either sphere. I'm actually going to go for a Desmond here because I think Newcastle just seem to have a lot more in terms of goal scoring capability, but Brentford also are going to find some opportunities to score with a very strong midfield and, obviously some more endeavour. This could end in a 2-2 draw, definitely, but that midfield battle between Henderson and Guimaraes and company will be epic, and we're going to see how that pans out. Desmond for me, 2-2.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with what you said. What's the chat saying? Honeygun says narrow 1-0 home win for the Bees, I reckon. Yeah. That's what, like I said, it's going to be the kind of game where it's a bit tight and you just don't expect to be a lot of goals. But you never know. But like I said, 2-1 Brentford. Could be 1-0, but yeah. George Fan says 1-1 Brentford. So he agrees with like a draw with you, Manny, as well. So George Fan on point with Manny. And yeah, that's about it, really. Okay, fair enough. Moving on to the next one. I mean, we've got a rivalry here. Palace Brighton. Both teams hate each other. Big rivalry here. You know what? I'm gonna give my. You know what? I mean, I've been giving my credits to Oliver Glasner, but again, he's been doing fantastic with Palace again this season. Obviously, they got their big win in the Conference League. Yeah, I realised that they've been dropped to Conference League, but yeah, they obviously got their big win. And yeah, I mean, Palace have been decent this season. They've obviously I've been surprised because obviously they lost Eze, their key attacker, but they've been still good without Eze. Like they still play the football that Glasner played last season. It's the same way. He hasn't changed at all. The same way, and they look good, man. Palace look good, and they're definitely going to lose some of their key players in the next few transfer windows. But talking about this game is big, and Palace need a win here to beat Brighton because they hate each other. Their fan base, both their fan bases hate each other, and yeah, I'm gonna say that Palace will win it, and it will be 2-0 Palace. I reckon they get a clean sheet, and it'll be another big win for Oliver Glasner. I know Palace have played on Thursday, but I expect Glasner to get the boys going and making them on track for and focused against Brighton. So I'm going to go with Palace winning. Manny, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, like if I had to, I don't want to predict another Desmond, so I'm actually going to agree that Palace will win because, Brighton, obviously, I know they beat Chelsea on their home turf, but then Chelsea are Chelsea, inconsistent in excelsis. And although Danny Welbeck has been in great form, sadly it wasn't enough to earn him a spot in the recent England squad, although if he does continue his good form, he could very well be considered an option. He'll also be determined to try to, score some goals here. But I just think as a team, Crystal Palace have more about them. No clean sheets, I'm afraid, for either goalkeeper. But I'm going for a 2-1 win here. I think Brighton will score, but Palace are going to be well organised and they're going to find a way to make sure they, maintain their superiority. But this will definitely be a cracker of a game. Honeygun obviously saying that this could be a 1-1 draw. I think Crystal Palace might have a little bit more about them, but we will see. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends in a draw. Definitely a feisty affair.
Yeah. A draw obviously separates both teams a point, but I think Palace would want a bit more in this game. So, yeah, I've gone with Palace winning. Let me see what the chat's saying. Obviously, we just read this one out. Only going goes 1-1. Chelsea fan says 2-1 Palace. Fair enough. Similar to my prediction. But yeah, okay, fair enough then. Fair enough. We will see how that game goes. All right, moving on. Last 2 games left, then we will wrap up. We've got Forest versus Leeds. Obviously, Sean Dyche got a point against us last weekend, which I felt like United, we should have gotten something in that game. But yeah, but this is the game where Sean Dyche needs to win with his Forest team. They need to get them. They need to try find some momentum. So where they are on the table is not good. They've sacked about 2 managers already this season. Sorry, 3, 2 or 3, 2.
2.
So yeah, I mean, and that's all the blame goes to that owner as well.
Oh yes.
Like what a shambolic of an owner he is. Terrible decision maker. I mean, obviously I've seen some stuff online where he's donated to a fan. Obviously he's been struggling or abused. That's fine. I respect that. But in terms of what his football decision making is, I think it's terrible. Absolutely poor. And obviously I can understand some of the frustration from the fans as well. Because if I was a Forest fan, I would hate to see. Well, I wouldn't say hate, but I wouldn't like to see my owner treat my club like this. So obviously he's been like rumours that apparently he's been forcing players to sign their new contracts and etc. etc. So yeah, that club is in a bit of a mess. But with Sean Dyche, I mean, let's see how he does, because I did not expect him to go to Forest, but no one expected Ange to go there as well. So, and they didn't. No one expected Ange to get sacked as well. So, because I already said on the stream, right, where I said that because the own and Ange are both Greek, I thought they were both going to have a good relationship, and Ange would probably stay on, but I'm guessing not. But yeah, Sean Dyche, I think you will get 3 points. I think Leeds will make it tight, but I'll go with 2-1 Forest here. Manny, what about you? What do you think?
I'm going to go for a Desmond over here because a lot of people have been crowing about how, Dyche's return has made things better. But in 4 games, like the only win that he had was against an overrated Porto side in the Europa League. I mean, that is, of course, a new manager bounce. That should have been Postecoglou managing that. Postecoglou was brought in for the European games. And I will say right now that he was really done dirty by that arrogant manager. Big up to him, of course, for donating to that brave Forest fan who helped save lives on that train attack. And big up to the fan, more importantly. I hope he will recover from his injuries. And he deserves definitely to be, commended for his courage and given and sort of given full recognition from His Majesty's government, if need be. And I just think that the way Forest are sort of playing right now, yes, they're supposedly a little bit more solid in quotation marks, but I really don't see Dyche improving the team that much to get them higher up the table. Maybe he'll keep them up, but it is just disgusting, really, because when you bring a manager in like Postecoglou who has a certain style of play, and you want to change that style of play, and you want to try to, have a change of culture, then 6 Premiership games is nowhere near enough. And there were many, many instances where, Forest were looking really good under him. It was just stupid individual mistakes that cost the team in the end. But, sadly, it is what it is. Things transpired the way they did. But I wouldn't be surprised if by January, Ange is back in management. It could very well be that Silva might be sacked and Ange takes up the job at Fulham. Maybe he prefers to manage in London instead of going elsewhere in the country. But I see this game ending in a draw because Leeds also, they started the season reasonably well enough, and I think they seem to have solved some of their striker issues. And this is one of these classic Premiership clashes you want to see because, of course, Forest and Leeds are both founder members of the Premier League, and Leeds, obviously, were the winners of the last Division 1 edition before it changed into the Premiership. And like I said, you want to see matches like these. These are the matches that will obviously provide a great deal in terms of nostalgia and so forth. And I actually think both teams are going to be up for this. Farke and Dyche will definitely provide, a match for the ages. Both of them, of course, are not the best-looking managers, but they are quite effective. I'm going to stick my neck out and go for a Desmond here. I think both teams are going to be at it, but this should be a Desmond. And I think Dyche is really a lucky bloke to be having a good sequence of games right now as soon as he's come in. So a lot will be expected from him this season.
Yeah, I hear that. I just realised that Dyche hasn't won in the Premier League yet, so that's something he's going to be looking for against Leeds. Obviously, Daniel Farke as well. Like you said, Manny, two managers that are probably not good looking and they don't get recognised online. So, look, let's see. It could be like 1-0 Forest Dyche way, but eventually Forest do need to get some wins in the bag. So, we'll see how that game goes. Let me just see what the comments are saying. Dyche will get his first win in the league here. I think 2-1 to Forest. Fair enough. George fan says 2-0 Forest. And Jonathan says, I agree with you, Harry. Fair enough. Right then, this leads to us with our last game, which is the big one. See Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool. I mean, they've been a bit of a funny team because in the Premier League, they haven't been so good, but obviously they've just beaten Real Madrid. 1-0 McAllister. Great goal, by the way. What a goal. But Premier League, they haven't been great. Obviously, I know they've beaten Villa, but I don't know if Liverpool will turn up to the Etihad and win because I think Man City will be on it. And I do think Liverpool will lose this one. So another loss for Slot. But yeah, in my head, I am thinking that City will actually keep a clean sheet. I think City will win and a clean sheet as well. So I'm going to go 2-0 Man City. But yeah, I mean, Liverpool have been a funny team. Very, very funny team. What was it? I think they've lost how many games in a row? I think it was 4 or 5 in a row. And obviously they beat Villa in the last Premier League game. So for me, I'm looking at how Arne Slot was set up his side on Sunday because what is the reaction going to be from the Real Madrid game after the Real Madrid? I know they won, but what's the reaction going to be on Sunday? Are they going to go to Etihad and get a win, or is it going to be how they played a few weeks ago? But for me, I think what I can say that I don't think Arne Slot knows his best 11. I think he's got way too many players that he's bought and he doesn't know where to play them because he's got Gravenberch, right, as his old midfielder. But remember, he's also got Szoboszlai to play. He's got Wirtz to play. He's got McAllister to play. He's got multiple players to play. So I just don't think he knows his best 11. And I've been watching his interviews. And he's making excuses. Like he's saying, I think his last one that I can remember off my heart is that he hasn't spent enough money. Like that's a joke. You spent almost 500 million in your summer transfer window, and you're complaining about not having enough players. So for me, This is going to be a huge game. City will. The thing is, right, this is where Arsenal fans will be, because if Arsenal do win tomorrow against Sunderland, the best result for Arsenal is a draw in this game. But for me, I'm gonna give the win to Man City here. Manny, what do you think?
Yeah, I think City will definitely be determined to secure a win at home at the Etihad against Liverpool, and they're going to look to try to make sure they get that win. Liverpool have literally been a stop-start team this season, and they should have Emery to thank for playing them back into contention. But as long as Manchester City have Erling Haaland and others, and of course Phil Foden is back in form and back in the England squad, as is Nico O'Reilly, who will be expected to do a job in trying to keep Mo Salah quiet. Of course, we don't even know if Mo Salah will even play, even start. He might just come off the bench. But as you've said, Orest, I'm not too sure that Slot really knows what his best 11 is. He will be, tempted to play the 11 that started against Real Madrid, although ideally, if Alisson Becker were fit, he'd come back into the team ahead of Mamardashvili. I think Mamardashvili has proven himself to be a fine shot stopper, but he just can't dominate the back four and keep them honest. And, with Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate looking very inconsistent, you need a strong voice at the back. And big up to Scotland's captain, Andrew Robertson, who had a fine game against Real Madrid. I think he's proven that there is still some life in him, but maybe it's just another flicker before he gets found out. Or maybe he raised his game against the European team, but against the Premiership team, he might not be able to keep that momentum. We'll have to see. And enough of that accent. I do apologise to any of our Scottish friends. I know Douglas Horn from the Dugout Football Channel. If he watches this, he's going to kill me for this. So my apologies in advance. I just think Liverpool still look a little bit, indecisive. One might even say disorganised in a way. And City just look determined to make sure that they make the most of whatever opportunities they can get and try and keep the pressure on Arsenal. And as things stand, City are 6 points behind us. So they have to keep winning and we have to keep winning to try and keep this distance. And I think, this is a game where City will be expected to win. It'll be tight. I'm going for a 2-1 win, so no clean sheet for either Donnarumma or Mamardashvili. But if both teams fail to win and a draw is the better result, then it'll look really good for the Arsenal. But then we've also got to do our bit and make sure we win up in Wearside, and that's not going to be a guarantee. So 2-1 to City, and Haaland definitely to be on the score sheet. Who will score along with him? Will it be Foden? Will it be Marmoush? Will he do the Fandango? Thunder, Monster, Lightning, very, very frightening. City to win.
Fair enough. Both of us have gone with a City win. Let's look at the chat. Chelsea fan says Man City 3-1. Okay, all right. 3-1, that's a big one. Honeygan says, not sure this game will be high scoring, but City to get the job done 1-0. Fair enough. Jonathan says the slot machine has run out. It has run out. Big up John. Honeygan says certain has been a shaky start to the season of slot. It has, especially when Man United go over to your ground and win. So there's problems there already. And big up Chill. Yeah, as always. But listen, that's been all the games. This weekend is going to be very interesting. That's one thing I'm going to warn you guys. This weekend, from 12:30 onwards, there's going to be absolutely mental scenes, whatever happens. But listen, let's see what happens. But Manny, really appreciate for you joining tonight. Obviously, helping us out the channel. Do you want to shout out where people can find you?
Yeah, well, first of all, big up to you, Orest. I'm glad I was able to hop on. And yes, it is quite late now, and I do need to hop off to bed just as well. It's a Friday, TGIF and all that. And if you want to find me on YouTube, you can find me here on Orest Talks Football every now and then. stepping in whenever there's an emergency, or if and when I feel like it. There are several other channels where, I've been involved in the past. Certainly Hanno's Coach's Corner is where I've done a lot of work, and I've really enjoyed working with Hanno and doing some stuff for his channel. And maybe, once he gets that back in motion, I'll rejoin him. We'll have to see. And also do catch me on Spurs U Asian TV with Eugene, Spurs fan based in Malaysia. Balanced Spurs fan along with a pragmatic Arsenal fan. We have some great discussions where we rip our own teams apart while praising each other's team whenever we can, for some reason. Go figure. And of course, he does some good watch-alongs for his teams, and we might be doing some work together to promote the North London derby. So do catch that if you can. Hopefully we'll get some people in the chat for that. And if you want to catch me on social media, it's my name on the bottom left-hand corner and then 1981. That is where you will find me on Instagram and Threads. If you want to catch me on Twitter, it's just my surname, under the right, 1981, my year of birth. And, of course, you will find us on Twitter as well. The handle is down there, Oris Talks Footy. Do please check that out. We do provide some good updates on Twitter. We're also very active on Instagram, and I think, do we have a TikTok? Maybe Oris will know better than I do. But, yeah, do please stay involved with the channel. Do please like this video, subscribe if you're new, and keep, supporting us in every way we can. It really helps us. And, of course, you can find me here elsewhere on YouTube if you can. And, that's nothing much more than I can say, except I hope you all have a good, a great weekend. If you're still awake tonight, don't do anything silly. Get an early sleep if you want to, especially catch the noon game tomorrow. And apart from that, nothing much else. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. Be happy. Do unto others as you'd have others do unto you. And don't do anything that Orist, Hanno, the chat, and I wouldn't do. Until then, farewell to thee, goodbye, and God bless to all of you. And it is time for me to conk out. I am tired. Good night and God bless everyone.
Big up money as always. Big up money. Make sure you guys do follow him on socials. Very, very knowledgeable Arsenal fan. But listen, as Manny mentioned, we do have our TikTok account. It is Orange Talks Football. We're posting out clips from the streams. I've got someone that's running it, so he'll be on it. But yeah, Orange Talks Football on TikTok. I'm pretty sure everyone here on the viewers have TikTok. So yeah, make sure you give us a follow. We'll try and post.
Yeah, I think Orist is frozen, so we'll wait for him to, just resume everything. But yeah, obviously, as he should be back right now.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. But anyways, TikTok, please forgive us and follow on TikTok. But yeah, everyone in the chat, we appreciate you guys that contributed. So Chelsea fan, Honey Gun, Jonathan, Craig, obviously I'm sending my best wishes to you. No one, my last bit, no one deserves to get attacked for opinions. For me, if someone attacks for football opinions, then you should be locked up to life. Simple as that. Or something, or a case scenario where it's even worse. But can't really just say on here. But yeah, for me, you don't. No one's deserves to get attacked for their own opinions for football. And yeah, man, just don't hide away from your opinions, guys. If you want to say something, say it. But I'm guessing there's evil world people in this world. But anyways, we'll be back to the review for the review stream shortly this week. So keep an eye on that. For now, take care. Have a good Friday. Money, big up yourself. Please get some sleep. But I appreciate you for joining. And guys, we'll be back very soon. Peace.